Hey folks, Jay again here. So we're going to look at the new software updates, which is Neat 24.4 that just rolled out. So the first of which we're going to look at now. So first, I've just set up my phone in the position of where the bar is, just below the bar, just so you can hear how loud this room is. So we've got lots of slappery surfaces, we've got the aircon and glass and everything like that. Then we're going to go now to our Neat Bar Gen 2. So now I'm on the Neat Bar Generation 2. So hopefully you can hear all of that aircon's disappeared, lots of the room slap and everything's gone. And look, I'm a long way away from the bar. Actually, I'll just put it on framing so you can see me a little bit closer there. But just imagine this table is quite far away from the bar. Imagine it's just like a two-seater or maybe a four-seater table, everyone kind of around the end of the table there. Basically, you might want to get that voice sounding a little bit closer, a little bit more like they're on the headset, something like that. So what we can do is we've got a new beta feature called microphones in pads, which we'll turn on now. And there we have it. There's the difference. So now I've got the microphones in pads active. Now there's one big caveat here, which is basically we aren't enabling the microphones in the bar at this stage, in the beta stage. So basically you can have the microphones on the pads on, or you can have the microphones on the bar, or it could be a board at the front on. The other big caveat is everything needs to be wired. We want to make sure everything is in sync and clocked nicely. So basically the bar or the board needs to be on the network, and so does the pad, obviously. So once you've got that there, you can turn that active and hopefully you can hear the difference there. Next up, we've got a feature called Enable USB Extenders and System Settings. So what that does is if you've got, say, a USB extender, runs over a cat cable, something like that, going from your table to your bar, some certain brands retain a 5-volt signal constantly going into the bar or the board, even though you've disconnected your laptop. So if you turn on this toggle, basically it means that even though it retains that signal, if I then disconnect my laptop from the extender, it'll effectively stop BYOD mode because you're using the automatic mode. Nice and simple. You'll also notice within this new USB connectivity menu, we've got kind of 3 choices. You can use the new manual BYOD mode. What that does is you swipe out from the menu, you press the button and it will start BYOD mode. Press it again, you'll stop BYOD mode. Basically that does mean that there might be the use case where you've got an in-room PC or someone really wants that manual ability to do that. That's now an option. You can select auto BYOD mode. That basically means it works exactly how it did before, and this is kind of the out of the box setting. It means if you're outside of a call, plug in the cable, you'll start BYOD mode. If you're inside of a call, plug in the cable, it'll just send the content to the screen. It's a lot more simple way of running things. And then you also have on there peripheral devices. This is for doing things like plugging in a touchscreen for a bar, perhaps, or plugging in a mouse and keyboard if you're going to use that for configuration. Next up, we have a feature which is basically to disable or enable an active signal over the HDMI when the device goes to sleep. So previously with the Neat devices, if you didn't enable the CEC option for displays, basically we'd send a blank black signal. Now what we do as default, which is the correct way of doing it, we believe, we kill that signal. That means you could use other protocols to be able to send a signal to a screen to turn it off. But if you liked it the old way that it worked, you can just turn that toggle on and there we go, you've got it how it used to work. For the Neat Center, we have a new center boundary. So that effectively means when you go in, you set the diameter, and that lets you choose who the center will frame and who will not. It's just another granular detail that you can do on setup to make sure it's working as effectively as possible. Last up, we've got quite an exciting new feature. This is in beta, but please try it out. This is our BYOD only mode. So effectively get any of our devices, make sure it's up to date, and then you can either factory reset it or do out of the box and that'll update itself, obviously. And you can select, as you can see here, BYOD only mode. And what that does is once that's selected and turned on, it will then sign in and it will basically show you the plug-in instructions for the USB-C cable on the pad and on the board. You plug it in, you'll get all of your volume and framing options as well. But you do get some advantages here. because the Neat devices do need to be online still, for the bar, we do need the pad online still. For the board, you can use it on your own. You don't need a pad, but again, why not? But basically, it does mean that because you can register it to Pulse, you can still do all your software updates automatically. You can still do all of your manual updates. You can change the way the screens go to sleep or turn on. You can even change, obviously, the rules around how the BYOD works. And yeah, that's it. So please let any of us know if you've got any questions. Everything's available on the release notes, but reach out to your local product specialist, me for UK and Ireland, or you can speak to any of your sales team, and we'll be happy to help. Thanks very much.